Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hey, hey, hey!
Hey Dylan, what's going on?
Shalaunda,
Yes.
we're back.
We are back. And it feels good. And we're here in the Leverage by Design studio. Shout out to Leverage by Design.
Thank you so much to Leverage by Design for one, building out the studio, but two, also allowing us to come in today to film the new podcast episode.
We're back, you guys, and I think we're better. We're elevated, and hey, we have a bunch of valuable information that we're here to share with you all.
100%. So let's address the elephant in the room.
Let's do it.
Where have we been?
Where have we been? You
I'm
wanna
sure.
start?
I was going to say, because I'm sure you've gotten a lot of questions about that.
So, I have gotten some questions. I spoke with a couple of our listeners, and they're like, "Hey, where's the information? Like, we thought that you guys were great. We enjoyed the information. It helped us in our journey and things like that." So, just if I'll start, right? Business, family. That's where we've been, at least.
Yeah.
That's where I've been. Dylan, where have you been?
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
I've gotten so busy with just life in general.
Just life.
So unfortunately, some things had to be shifted around, and not that it's an excuse, but the podcast really did take a little bit of a break.
It did.
I think Shalaunda and myself both, our businesses got crazy, life got crazy, lots of things happened, but I was very glad when Shalaunda reached out to me and was like, "We gotta go back to this."
We got to get back into it.
So
it feels
shout
right.
out to Shalaunda.
No, shout out to you, Dylan, right? Because I couldn't do this without you.
And I couldn't do vice versa. You know that. There's no pure Michigan Properties podcast without either of us.
I was about to say without Dylan and Shalaunda together.
Without Shalaunda and Dylan.
Right, there we go.
I love it. So let's introduce the topic.
Let's introduce the topic, right? So today we are getting into the current market trends and stats. What's going on, right? We're going to look at the information from a story perspective, I guess. See what the data is telling us and go from there. I think today we decided to talk about Wayne County in general, right? Because we do have Microsoft. Well, shout out to Microsoft.
Shout out Microsoft.
But we have data on both a micro and a macro level. And
can I pause you for 1 second?
Yeah.
Speaking of Microsoft, I read this tweet, or on X now it is. Someone was like, "Why did they name it Microsoft?" Sorry, you said that, and I was like, I just have to say it.
Why did they name it Microsoft? Do you know the answer?
I have no clue. Someone put it out online, and it really had me thinking. I'm like, wow, interesting name. Out of all the names you could have chose, Microsoft.
Very interesting.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Okay, back to the regular schedule.
No worries. I'm thinking now. We're going to do some further digging.
Yeah, we'll get that answer to you next week.
I think that's fair enough. And but today we're diving into what's going on a county basis.
So I know you brought up Oakland or Wayne County. I'm going to touch a little bit in Oakland County because that's where a lot of my business comes from as well.
Indeed.
So I think it gives us two perspectives.
Absolutely.
Because I think you put it perfectly. There is a macro level, and then there's also a micro level to it all. I think for most news stations or news outlets, they're on a macro level. They don't really get into the deep dive of what's going in between city to city, county to county, neighborhood to neighborhood.
Correct. Because there's a hyper, right, micro or local trends, market, and stories, right, behind the data that is out there as well. Like you said, neighborhoods and cities specifically.
Even like just subdivisions. I mean, the one subdivision compared to the one next door, completely different, right?
Indeed.
And it's just because of the location that it's in.
That's it.
One thing I've quickly realized about real estate is location really is the biggest thing.
Well, that's the one thing that makes real estate different, right? Is just that, is the location. Right? Aside from that, you can build homes with the same structures and floor plans, and they be identical, but the one thing that's different is where they lie.
It's so crazy to me. I look at like you were just saying, the exact same house, no difference.
No difference.
No difference in square footage, amenities, all that. It's the exact same, right? But if it's like the neighborhood right next door, it's going to be a different price just because of where it sits.
Exactly.
And that's where, like, when we're talking about location, it really has me fascinated, because I think in my business, like, something that I tell a lot of my clients is location should be your number one priority. Because you can change the house, but you can't change the location.
Can't change the location. So let's talk about it, Dylan.
Let's talk about it. So let's talk about what you've noticed. And so when we're talking about, let's talk about timeline as well. From what I've heard a lot, and I want to hear your perspective on it as well, is it's starting to shift the market.
I'm seeing some market shifts, I can say. I'm noticing that markets are starting to kind of slow down, but they're still moving fast.
I think it really depends, yeah. It's slow but fast.
It's slow but fast. So let's talk about inventory in Wayne County in itself, right? We're still looking at months of inventory being less than 3 months. So all the all the houses that's on the market, you know, if they were to sell every day at a consistent rate, the houses will be sold in 3 months. Right?
Gotcha. So that's what it means when we're talking about months of supply.
Absolutely. When we're talking about inventory, and with that number, we know that to mean that it's still a hot market, right? But why are things slowing down?
Right. I think there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. A hot word we're hearing a lot now is interest rates.
Okay.
And so for a lot of my people who are looking to buy, they're like, wait, I heard September we're supposed to get a rate cut, right?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So I think for a lot of my people, again, back to the uncertainty. And I always tell my clients when we're sitting down and having that buyer's consultation, the more information you have, the more confident you will be.
Absolutely.
The more confident you are, the better decision maker you will be.
Absolutely.
And at that point, you'll make that decision, right?
That's right.
Unfortunately, right now, there is a lot of uncertainty, just in the world in general.
If I'll, jump in real fast and just kind of shed light to some of the topic of conversation that I'm having with prospective buyers in the market is interest rate is a concern. It is, right? Let's be honest.
Right.
But when you're buying a car, why aren't interest rates as much of a concern there? Is it because, in your opinion, let me ask you, I think, let's see, you think it's because of the longevity of home buying, right? So normally when a buyer's taking out a loan, we're talking about, of course, anywhere between 15 and 30 years.
Right.
Right. And so
it seems like a long commitment.
It does seem like a long commitment. But you'll take out a loan for car purchase, and those are 18% sometimes or more.
Right.
So what's been like some of the, what do you think?
So my wholeheartedly belief on this is that I think agents just do a bad job of explaining what that monthly payment is, because you're not buying the interest rate, you're buying what your monthly payment's going to look like, right? And I understand obviously the interest rates do have a factor into what that monthly payment is.
Sure.
But if you can afford it, and it's a house that you like and a location that you love, and it's the right deal.
Tell us, Dylan. Talk about it.
That's when you're a buyer.
That's when you're a buyer.
Not when interest rates drop, but when it's the right deal.
You know what, Dylan?
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of interest rates, yesterday, I had a home buying workshop.
Can we please talk about that? Tell the audience about it.
Well, I'm not going to go too much into the workshop because
we're all into it.
We're actually planning to have more workshops. And so I think that it will benefit you if you're a home buyer that you come out, right? It's designed to be an interactive workshop. So that's where the value add is.
And I think the huge value is the interactive part about it. know there are home buying seminars out there, or you can just Google how to buy a home, but there's no one doing it hands-on with you, right? Someone who's walking you through the steps. And so
right.
when Shalaunda was talking to me about this idea, I'm like, this is so genius, because again, I don't know any other person that offers something that where it's very hands-on, it's very interactive, and you truly are learning from the best.
Well,
So what I'm hearing is there's going to be a part 2.
there is going to be a part 2. You know, I did have some folks reach out to me just because it's the middle of the week and, you know, they weren't able to make it. So we're going to do a part 2, absolutely. And we got good feedback.
I love that.
Yeah. And so one of the topics that we did cover, though, was interest rates. I had my lending partner with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we discussed was how you can buy down interest rates. But also when you're looking at those monthly payments, the interest rates, whether they go up or down, it doesn't have as much of a drastic change as many people will believe that it has.
I agree.
You know, and it sometimes is the difference between $30 or $40.
Right.
Right. And let's be honest, we spend $30 or $40. Dylan, I gotta pick on you.
I know where this is going.
On Starbucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
For the week.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so, why is interest rates really such a scary thing, right?
Because I feel like it's just not explained properly.
That's it.
And not to shame the news outlets, but I think they make it seem, they put it into a perspective of where it's changed, but not for the good.
But is it really changing? We're still looking at a very hot market, so that means people are still buying houses.
And I also want to say this, and this is something that we talk about all the time in the industry, is once those rates drop, Shalaunda, I'm going to ask you this because I know you know the answer. What's going to happen when those rates drop?
Oh, buyers are going to start flooding the market, and if one thinks that the market is competitive now, it's gonna make it a little bit more challenging and more competitive.
100%.
Yeah.
You're all these buyers who are sitting out on the sidelines, who are waiting
Yep.
for those interest rates to drop. The second they do, they're back into the buying pool. And guess what happens with you now? You're competing with every single one of those people who are waiting.
Yep.
And guess what that does? That drives the price right back up.
I was just gonna say, when those buyers start to flood, no matter where you are in the market, that triggers a seller, right? Hey, we know that there's been an influx of buyers in the market. Let's use that to our advantage, right? And now in Wayne County as a whole, sales prices are about $240,000.
Gotcha.
On average.
Yep.
Yeah, and so those numbers are up, you know, from last year, even from last month. Right.
So it's still increasing is what you're saying.
Yes, it's still increasing, even though we've noticed a decrease in buyer activity.
Right.
Right.
I mean, for me, I have a listing in Hazel Park, right? So that's Oakland County. That listing, I mean, it should have received multiple offers the first day. Just because of the location, price point.
Great location.
Great location. And so...
Good price point, too.
Great price
Yes.
point. I mean, honestly, so the house was listed at $135,000. And I think that's a price point. If you're looking at a mortgage,
Right.
I was calculating this, and I asked my lending partner to calculate this for me.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at no more than $900 for that mortgage payment. $900, and I'm also like, that can be like, wait, but what's the catch? It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, Michigan basement. It was a beauty.
But yeah, I was gonna say it very well, like put together.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well. So like to me, like it does, based off that activity on that house, and I'm not saying that like, every house has a different story to it.
Sure.
But based off of that house where it should have flew the second we put it on the market.
Yeah.
And it did take a little bit of time. It took about a week before we really started to see that activity.
The activity increase.
And I've been asking other agents as well about their listings in like hot areas too.
Right.
And they're saying it usually takes that first week when you're on the market, it's pretty slow.
Yeah.
But that second week is that sweet spot. So to me, I'm kind of reading it as a buyer to where a lot of these buyers who were in the market maybe are starting to come back into it, because when it was hot, crazy, where multiple offers the second it got listed, they got discouraged. And I understand why they got discouraged, right? Because they're losing out to these cash offers, waived inspections, which, to be honest, is crazy.
That's mad
but
crazy.
that's a different story. So they're starting to come back, but they're also thinking, I'm not going to compete on a house the first week it's listed. But then they're going to go that second week once they see that, okay, maybe there's not really much competition off of it.
And then, too, right, and it's the summertime. How do you think that affects the market?
I think now that we're hitting the end of summer, I mean, schools are about to go back into session. For me, I do see it really stabilizing and really slowing down.
Okay.
What are you noticing?
You know what? It's funny that you asked the question, what am I noticing? So I'm having actually more and more buyer conversations, right? That buyers are starting their journey. But here's the one commonality, I guess. And I'm still looking at how it correlates to, timing, right? And these buyers that I'm having a conversation with, though, they don't have any children.
Okay.
Right? So I know that a lot of people, they want to be moved and settled into their new home before the school year starts. School district is a major factor when it comes to the home buying journey for many.
100%.
And so, but it's not stopping the show.
No.
Right? I think that, and I've been watching social media, and I got families that I'm watching vacation a lot more. And so, I think that this summer, for whatever reason, coming out of the pandemic, people really settling just back into their day-to-day lives. Takes a little bit of time that they just took a step back, right? So I think that's why the market slowed down just a little bit. But now I think we're accustomed to the new norm, right? It's been a while since the pandemic, and then now people are just coming to the realization that, okay, let's prepare the steps.
100%. And I feel like even kind of like the whole, even when we first started the podcast, we launched it, we were running our episodes, the biggest thing that we really pushed to our clients was start before you think you even need to.
Yep.
It really is, as much as I look at myself as a real estate agent, realtor profession, I really look at myself as a coach.
Oh, sure.
I think the biggest thing that I do for my clients and the value that I really add to them is I coach them through. Whether that's through the process, whether that's through the bad times, the great times, the ugly times.
And so I think that, no, I don't think that, I know that because I'm having conversations, a lot of people saw professionals in the real estate industry as gatekeepers, that we're only out to get your information. And
I understand why they feel that way.
When in actuality, we're guides. We're guides. We're here to help you navigate just like a GPS.
Just like a GPS, exactly.
You're not going to go on a vacation and just hop in well, maybe you will. But
some people do.
You're going to plan, right, prepare. And unless you know how to read a map from the bottom right up.
And I do not, so.
You're going to map out that journey.
100%.
And you're going to pretty much do it before you, load the car. And so that's what we're here for.
100%, we are your GPS throughout the real estate transaction and beyond.
Yeah, we're not gatekeepers.
No, I mean, realistically, because I would want someone to do that for me. Right?
Certainly.
Especially when I don't know a certain topic or I'm not an expert in that field. Walk me through it. Give me all the information needed.
And let's go from point A
and let's go
to Z to, I think they're adding a new, my daughter told me that they're adding a new letter to the alphabet.
What?
Yes.
Wait,
you
what?
Haven't heard?
No, what's the letter?
I don't know because
she's gatekeeping.
She's like, they're adding another letter. I'm like, how do you add another letter?
I don't
to the alphabet. We already have we have enough words.
A through Z, right?
A through Z, right? I don't know. How do you? I don't know. What else do you say? Whatever.
We'll keep you guys updated on that.
Got a few things. But jump back into the market and the story of it all, it's just, always a good time to invest in yourself.
I think I always like to ask this question because it really throws people off.
Let's get it.
Tell
me.
I ask people, I'm like, are you a buyer in the market? And 95% of the time I ask people, they're like, no, I'm not. I'm like, wrong answer. You are.
You are, absolutely.
For the right deal, if that came across your desk,
yeah,
and I presented that to you, and the numbers made sense, location, property, would you buy?
Wait a minute, Dylan. I got a twist.
Twist it.
You are already a buyer's in the market. You're buying your landlord's house.
Say that again.
You're buying your landlord's house. That rental payment that you're paying, do you think that your landlord is contributing 100% of those proceeds just to the mortgage? I'm sure that they know their numbers well enough where they can walk away with a profit. So you're already a buyer in the market. You just haven't realized it yet.
That was really good.
Mic drop.
Mic drop, baby. No, because it's so true, though. I mean, at the end of the day, your landlord had to buy that property, that apartment complex, whatever, duplex, triplex, whatever. And unless they paid it off, they're paying a mortgage. And guess who really is paying that mortgage? You are.
I hope that you're watching this episode as I look directly into your eyes so that you can see that you can do this. You're already doing this.
You just have to believe.
You just have to believe in yourself. And then paired with the right individuals. And so Dylan has been doing a fantastic job. And myself, we're here to help, get to the finish line.
100%. I mean, back to your workshop. That's the whole goal, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but half of it is really just like breaking down those misconceptions.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of that is just in your mind.
Yeah. And then the internet, let's talk about the internet.
Ooh, let's talk about
Because the internet can be a dangerous place if you don't know how to properly use it.
Correct.
What actual sources are credible is one thing that you have to know. And there's a bunch of information out here and opinions, and they're not necessarily facts.
No, 100%. I think even especially from so a lot of my clients are the first time home buyers. Mm-hmm. And I understand why this happens, but a lot of them get a lot of feedback or opinions from their family. When their family was maybe in the market, it was a different time than it is today. Mm-hmm. So from what I've heard from my clients is that their family members are like, oh, it's not a good time. Well, where are you getting that information from? That's my next question.
Yeah.
Did you get it from ChatGPT?
Maybe they got it from X.
WikiHow.
So who's telling you this information?
Right. Are you where are you hearing it from? And I'm not saying that it's not like a credible source.
Correct.
But are they telling the full story?
And let's be honest, social media, right, is therefore a lot of it is therefore just entertainment. And they are, putting out stories that is geared to capture audience or viewers' attention.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. A lot of my clients use TikTok as their news source, and I understand how TikTok can be a very valuable platform, but like you were saying, a lot of the content that is out there is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Or the people that you are listening to may not be credible, right? They may not be in the field every single day, right?
That's
and
true.
So when people say, oh yeah, I heard on TikTok, who? Who said that? Right?
Yeah.
Because I think, back to what you were saying, a lot of that is for one, hooking you into that video, making sure that person watches the whole video, and creates an emotion from you. And a lot of, especially in the real estate world, a lot of stories, I think, from what I've seen, portray a negative experience. I've even seen videos where they'll hook you into saying, for an example, I just bought this home and let me tell you 10 reasons why you don't need to buy a home. Wait, what?
What?
Let's talk about it. What's the 10 reasons? One of the reasons was, because my HVAC system broke. Well, I want to take that video and be like, well, actually, if you got a home warranty,
bingo.
Let's talk about that. Well, maybe their agent just never explained that to them. In all professions, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
There's good and there's bad.
Well,
Every single
that's
profession.
Just life in general.
100%.
Yeah.
I think as a society we need to do a better job of verifying our sources.
Yes.
And really doing a deep dive into who do you think is the best person to work with.
You know what? I ran across a video the other day, and it's this home inspector, right? And he works mostly with new construction homes.
Okay.
Right? And so a lot of folks just believe that when you get a newly constructed home, that it's perfect.
You're telling me those new construction homes aren't perfect, Shalaunda?
Listen, I'm not telling you. I'll get you the guy's name, and you can go view the videos that he's showing that there are always going to be imperfections, right? And so we have to, I think, get over. I'm gonna say get over. Yeah, everything is going to be perfect. I think a lot of buyers are expecting perfection.
But I also understand why, because
Sure.
if you really, and I'm trying to look it through their eyes, right? Because if you look it through their eyes, you understand how they feel. And once I understand how they feel, I know how to treat the situation, right? Rather than me just jumping right in. They're looking at, especially from what I've heard, is they're looking at it as compared to when their parents bought a home. And I understand the price difference, right? They're saying, well, wait, I just overpaid. I beat out 10 other offers that just came in. I want my house to be perfect because I'm overpaying for it. In their eyes. This is what they're just saying, right? I understand how they feel. They want, if they find out one plug isn't working, or there's a small leak in the bathroom with the faucet.
Well, let me ask you this. Overpaying for a house, according to, Wayne County's information, at least homes are selling at 98.8% of the actual list price. So that means that there are some negotiations going into, the purchase of the property. And so as a buyer and your realtor, they're doing their due diligence, right?